In this part, I want to show you that how you can create button widget in Kivy, and also I want to show you that in two different ways. So the first way is that you can use the button widget class in Kivy, and also the second way is that you can use the Kivy file. And also I'm going to show you that how you can create your own widgets in Kivy, and also we will look at a simple example of event handling, event and callbacks handling in Kivy. So the first thing I need, so this was the code that I have created for the label. Now, so the first, I'm not going to touch this Kivy, so this .kivy file, because if I run this, you can see that I have just returned label widget and I have this Kivy. So instead of this label, I'm going to just import a button. So let me just call it, let me just import the button, and in here this time I'm not going to return anything because I'm not going to use for right now the Kivy. So in the later part I will change this code. So I'm going to just create object of button, and for the text I'm going to just say click me, and I'm going to just return the button object. So if I run this, you will see that I have a big button according to the window. So you can see that the whole window is button, and if I click this, you can see that it's a click me button. Now if you want to, we will not work in this way because we are going to work with the Kivy file. So first let me just show you this way. Now if you see the documentation of Kivy for the button, so the button is a label, so you can see it is a label, it's a type of label with associated actions that are triggered when the button is pressed or released. So we have two actions for this. So we have on press and also we have on released. So you can see that you can create button and text, and you can add the font size for this. Now the main concept is that I want to show you that this is the callbacks. To attach a callback when the button is pressed, clicked or touched, we are going to use bind. So using bind you can attach the events or callbacks. So now let me just show you. For example, I have this button. Now I'm going to just create, so this way is that if you want to create using the button widget itself, but if we are going to work with the Kivy file, we are not going to use .bind, the bind method. So now for example, I'm going to just create a click me method in here, or callback we can call it, and in here I'm going to just print whatever you want. For example, you can say clicked me, you clicked me, you clicked me, like this. And now we need to bind this to our button, so you can just simply say button dot bind, and you can see we have on press and also we have on release. So let me just show you on press, and this is self dot click me. Okay, now if I run this, and so let me just bring the, okay, now if I click, so you can see in here, you clicked me, you clicked me, you clicked me. So like this also you can use, if you want, you can use on release in here. So let me just, I haven't tested this, but let me just do this in here, that it's working or not. So if I say on release, and if I click, if I release, nothing's happening. Okay, no problem. I will check this. That okay, on release, I think. So released. Okay, no problem. So like this, you can use using the widget, but we are not going to use with. You can see that now it's working because the spelling was incorrect. So if I click, there's nothing happen. If I release the click, you can see you clicked me, or I'm saying you clicked me, you clicked me. So now this way was using the widget. Now sometimes and when you're going to work with the Kivy, you need to create your own widgets. So instead of returning the direct widgets from the from the Kivy, it's a good idea to create your own widgets. So now let's just do it, and we are going to just create our own widgets in here. So at the top, I'm going to first I'm going to just remove these from here, and at the top I'm going to just from dot widget I'm going to import widget, and in here I'm going to just create a class. I'm going to call it my widget, and it extends from the widget class. I'm not going to write something right now in here, and just I'm going to pass this. Now in your build you need to just return your widget class like this. So right now if I run this, you will see that nothing will be happen. Instead of just a window, we have just a window. Okay, now after this, because we want to just create a button, so for this we need to bring some change to our Kivy file. So let me just open window.kivy, and here you can see I have label, and so let me just create now we need to just define our rules in here for the widget class. Okay, now let me just show you another thing about this widget. If you see the documentation for the widget class, it's telling that the widget class is base class required for creating widgets. So if you're going to create widgets like button, like checkboxes, or like labels, this is the main base class for those widgets. Also, these widgets, this widget class was designed with a couple of principles in mind. For example, it's event driven, also the separation of concern, and one of the best thing that I like it, so it has a bounding box or collision detection. So by using the collide point and also collide widget, you can detect the collision in the widgets. So we'll see this in the later parts of the video. And also you can see that we have on touch down, on touch move, on touch up, so that these are related to this. Okay, now so in my window.kivy I've created my widget. Also, one important issue, I will talk that about the indentation of the Kivy file. So take care about this. It's like Python. If in Python you have error in the indentation, you will receive an error. So the same idea is implemented in the Kivy file. For example, if I write something in here, I will receive an error. So make sure this. Okay, so now I'm going to just create a button. So for the button, I'm going to just give a text of, for example, click me. And now if I run this, so you can see that I have invalid indentation in my Kivy file. So make sure about this issue that you don't have any indentation error in your a Kivy file. So let me just remove this. Maybe the problem is from here, because we have let me just check this, because we don't need the label anymore in our this Kivy file. Okay, so now I have my widget, my button, and let me just do it again in here. So this is my widget, and this is my button, and my text is, for example, hello Kivy application. Now if I run this, okay, so you can see that I have this button in here. We will fix the position. Now let me just change this to click me, not hello Kivy application, to click me. Okay, Now let me just set the position, so you can give the X and Y position. For example, I'm going to give it 100 by 100, so the X, Y, and Y position is in 100. So right now we haven't learned about the layout management, but we will talk about that. So you can see now it's 100 from the X and Y position, and we have a click me button in here. So also you can add more attributes to your this Kivy file. For example, you can set the size, so it's I think size of the text, for example 120 and 50. Now if you run this, you will see the size of text is changed to 120 and 50. You can see, yeah, it's not size of text, but it's the size of our button. So you can see it's changed, and we have now a real button. Also you can add color. So for example, I want to add 0.5, so it's an RGBA, so read green, blue, and also alpha. So 0.7 and 0 and 1. And let me just run this, and you will see that it's basically the color of my you can see that, but I don't see any so let me just remove this and let me run it again. Okay, so I think it's working, and you can change these. You can change these, and it will be known for you. So now you can set the font size also. Font size, for example, to 20. And one of the main pointers in this, that now you can add or bind events. For example, in here you can just simply say on press, and I'm going to, so you can interact with these, with your Python code, and also your design. So you can print the Python code in here. So let me just say the button is pressed, and now if I check this, and if I click on this, you can see that button is pressed. So the same also you can do it button released, okay, like this. So now if you want to bind an event from your this main code in your Kivy file, how you can do that? So for example, in our main file in here, we need to, because button is a kind of widget, we need to create in here. So let me just say click me, and so for the click me, I'm going to just print hello, you clicked me. And now in here, let me just comment this. So you can see that the Python comments also working in the Kivy file. So now if I run this, and if I press, you will see that I am not receiving anything in here. So if I click, you can see nothing happens because I have commented that. Okay, now in here I'm going to just create on press, and at this time I'm not using the print in here, but I'm using a callback or a function from my main Python file. So you can access that to using root. So root dot click me, and you can see that it's simple in Kivy. Now if you run this, and if you click on click, so let me just, so you can see hello you click me, hello you click me. So like this you can work with event binding and also button. And also we have created, so this method is the best way, that we create our own widget and we return our widget in the build, and after that you can easily do this in here. So also you can add a label. So let me just show you. So we have button, and now in here we can add, also we need to add a label. So you can just say label, and so let me just bring it in here and label. So for example, the text for the label, I'm going to say I'm a label. So now if you run this, you can see that we are receiving I am a label. So like this you can work with the button, and also even add links in button. Alright guys, now in this part I want to show you that how you can reference a widget from your Kivy file into your main file in your Python file. So for example, I have a label in here, so I have created in the previous part, and this is a button. So when a user click on the button, so I want that the text of this label should be changed. Now if you see in my window.kv, so I have created a label, but my Python file doesn't know about this label, so my widget class doesn't know about this label. So the first thing we need to just add an ID for this label. So for the ID, for example, I'm going to just give it a label. Now after this, you need to add this label to your my widget class, because if you don't do this, you will receive error. So now let me just add in here, so I'm going to just call it my label, and I want this label, so I want to add that in my widget class. So now after doing this, now I'm going to open my Python file, and in the widget class, so first let me just show you that so let me just comment this print, or leave it like this. Okay, now in here, so if you want to get the text from for example, if you want to get the text from the label, so you can use text. Using text, you can set the text to the label. Now you can simply say self dot my label dot text, this is change text. So now if I run this, probably I'm receiving error, so 100% I'm receiving error. So now if I run this, even though I have assigned this my label in here, but if I run this, let me just run it. Okay, I haven't received an error from, I don't know. Okay, let me just click this. Okay, now it's working, and there's no problem for this. So let me just run it again. If you run this, you can see that I am receiving my text is changed, and there's no problem. So if I remove this from here, for example, let me just remove this, and let me just make this like label. So this time I want to access this directly from the label. Now in this time I will receive error, so let me just run it. I haven't tested this yet, but I will check this. Now if I click, yeah, I'm receiving error that my widget object has no attribute label. So by this reason, because this is our main rule class, so when you define for example an ID for label or any widget in here, if you want to access to the value, you need to do like this. You can just add, for example, let me just bring it back, my label, and now you can see you are receiving this. So if I click on this, I have received error my widget. Okay, so it's because I need to change this to my label. And now if I run this, and if I click on this, you can see that changes text. this is change text. So because we haven't learned about something, let me just add a pose position in here if I can do so. For example, pose 200 by 200, and let me just run it again. Okay, now you can see if I click on this, you can see this is changed text. So this is the text that we have assigned in here. So like this you can work. There are a lot that you can use. For example, sometimes you need to use properties for this purpose, so you can do like this if you want.